Well, 365 days after the revolution of toge. For me, I think it's a long journey. I think we've had uninterrupted democratic system of government since 1999, which makes it about 20 years before the revolution of toge took place in Kwara State and swept away a dynasty that has been in power for more than 40 years. But 365 days after, my personal appraisal will be like, I can't issue out a scorecard as I'm speaking with you, but what we can do is try to analyze where we were yesterday and where we are now. For me, on certain parameters, I will score this administration very high. One, in terms of women participation in government. I think in the whole of Nigeria, Kwara State ranks first among the equals for women participation. We had about 56.5% of women in the cabinet of Alhaji Abdurrahman Abdulrazak. That is a very high score for him. But let's take it sector by sector. Education, for instance, I think there is renovation of schools that is going on in virtually nooks and crannies of the state. I think close to about 40 schools is under repairs, renovation, or remodeling as we speak. The kudos to him for that. But for me, I think we need much more than just renovating the schools. We will need a complete overhaul of our educational system. We will need serious educational reform that will not only see to how the physical structures of the school, but even the training of the teachers, the quality of teachers we have in school, curriculum review and what have you. So I think there is still room for the governor to do more in that space. I probably wants to believe that probably he wants to try and reset that sector, put it at a kind of a ground where they can actually now start looking at reforming wholesomely. But I think kudos to him, at least they've been able to fix some certain schools. Then in terms of health sector, healthcare delivery sector, there is a whole lot of renovation, remodeling of health facility across the state too in that area. And I think they just launched Kwara Care. That is a kind of health insurance scheme that will take care of everybody. If that policy is well drafted and is well implemented, I think it will go a long way in alleviating health issue across the state. Then talking about infrastructure, well, here and there is roads being built, roads being repaired, potholes being filled, and all that. I think in that area, this present administration should start looking how they can partner with a private organization, the private sector, in probably concessioning part of our roads and part of our infrastructure for us to be able to scale up that level, because there can be no meaningful development without scaling up our infrastructure. One of those important infrastructure I would like to see working is the cargo terminal at the airport. On the FAN protocol, Ilorin Airport is the alternative airport to Lagos. What this means is that if an aircraft cannot land in Lagos due to probably weather condition or any condition, then the next airport where they can land is Ilorin. So we need to do much more than operating 2 domestic flights on our airports. If this government can work with the private sector to see that the cargo terminal is up and running, it will also boost the economy of the state. Structure, I believe, it should be put in place. Then the quality of regulations too has to be looked into. For here, I will score this administration very low on issue of regulations. I've not really seen any kind of a systemic or structural reform in most of the sectors. So I think he needs to leverage on the good relationship he has with the State House of Assembly to come up with a lot of executive bills and for them to make law that will strengthen the regulatory quality within the state, that will enhance the quality way of life of the people around the state. Then economic development. I think while I was discussing the issue of infrastructure, I've delved into economic development, so to speak. There should be a kind of a deliberate attempt to stimulate economic growth within the state. Before Kwara State the narrative is a civil servant state. There is a need for us to change that narrative, and how to do that is to encourage business owners. It's a way to stimulate growth within small and medium scale enterprises and all that. So there should be a kind of a deliberate intervention of government as to enhance the growth of MSME, and also facilitating startups around the state. Then let's talking about good governance. Talking about governance, you see, without talking about youth engagement is nothing. I think for me, well, there are a lot of young people as SA and commissioners to the governor, but I don't think that is enough. What I want to see is, we want to see serious and deliberate programs targeted at youth, especially youth empowerment. So in that area too, I think I'm expecting the administration to do a lot in that arena. Then women participation. Well, the reward of hard work is more work. Giving women close to 60% commissionership slots within that administration is a lot, but you still have to do more in encouraging a lot of women in politics, women in business, women as traders and all that. So at least to encourage women participation in all chains of government. So far, we'll say the governor is towing a good path, but he needs to do more in the area of communication. He needs to communicate more with the people of Kwara State. We need to hear more from him. We need to be reassured that he has not lost focus on what he wants to do. He has not lost focus on his goals. So I think, and we need him more to listen to the people, and also in the area of local content. We need the states to start looking inward in the area of service delivery, such that most of execution of public contracts, execution of government programs should be done by local people. In this manner, a lot of resources will be kept within the system that will also enhance the growth of economy within the system. So we thank God so far for this. This is just a year, and the system that has almost been in a comatose for a very long time, we will not expect a complete resuscitation within 1 year. But we want him to set the track straight. We want him to set the tone, so that at least building a solid foundation, more work can be built on that. So that is my own candid opinion. Thank you.